I don't get Eli Roth. I watched his History of Horror show a while back, and the dude genuinely seemed to know the in and outs of horror. But then I go and watch Knock Knock or Green Inferno, and I'm reminded that this guy has no clue what the hell makes horror movies effective. Or does he? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Josh. Today we're talking about Thanksgiving. I know I just talked about, what was it called? It's a Wonderful Knife, which is a holiday-themed slasher. Here we have another one, this time focusing on Thanksgiving instead of Christmas. Now look, to be totally honest, I am completely down with these holiday-themed slashers. They hold a lot of potential, and it seems like people are really liking this one. And it comes to us from Eli Roth, the guy who is behind the Hostel franchise, the Green Inferno, a lot of stuff that people would dub torture porn. So I went into this a little nervous that it would fall into that category. Thankfully, it doesn't. It's much more of a straightforward slasher. We have somebody wearing a mask going around killing people. And so this plays out as a whodunit / horror movie. But right off the bat, my biggest problem with this film is that it reminds me of why I'm not a huge fan of the slasher genre as a whole. There absolutely are standouts out there, like Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th, plenty of others that I didn't mention. Black Christmas is one that I came across recently, the original 1970s one, I think is very underrated. But the problem is modern slashers struggle to remain original, and they struggle to have characters that you actually care about. When I rewatch the Scream movies, I genuinely care about those characters and I want them to survive. It's not just about watching a guy going around hacking people to pieces. This does have some things going for it, especially the Thanksgiving setting. I can't really think of many other horror films that are related to this holiday. But right off the bat, there's this opening scene that I don't really think this is a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But it's Black Friday, and there's this riot on this Best Buy-like store where people are trampling over each other to be first to get these items that are on sale. And it is so ridiculously over the top, and I understand that it's probably not meant to be taken completely seriously. I mean, this film originated as a parody trailer that was featured in Grindhouse, which Eli Roth also worked on. And I wish I could say that I had fun with it as a full-blown slasher, but I just really didn't. For one thing, it's predictable as hell. You know exactly who's going to die and when they're going to die. So there's not really much suspense, and the other problem is I found most of the characters to be extremely unbearable, annoying teenage characters that you've seen 100 times before. Even our final girl, Jess, I didn't think the acting was very good. Her line delivery was off. There aren't really many recognizable actors in here. That's not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but just to name a couple, Patrick Dempsey's in it. Kind of a forgettable role if you ask me for him. Addison Rae is in this too, because I guess social media influencers are automatically getting roles. People make stupid decisions around every corner, and it's not really played off in a very self-aware way like that opening scene was. So this movie just feels kind of confused about what it wants to be, because there are points where it gravitates towards that gore porn status that Eli Roth is known for, but I think that might actually be some of my more favorite parts of the movie. The kills in particular are pretty inventive in the way that they use a lot of different utensils that you'd find on the Thanksgiving table. Some cool stuff here and there. One in particular involving a trampoline, that's all I'm going to say. That was awesome. Chef's kiss. But like I said before, you need more than just cool kills to be a good slasher. Otherwise, it's just, I don't know, I can't think of a specific quote off the top of my head, but Roger Ebert used to say something when he was reviewing the Friday the 13th sequels that really stuck out to me, and it's the fact that a lot of slasher movies, you sit down and you watch them, and at the end of the day, what you're there for is to see girls strip down and get sliced up. And this is one of those movies that doesn't feel like it has much else to offer in terms of satire. The twist ending I saw coming from a mile away. It does have some admirable references to a couple of classics. There was one specifically that screamed Halloween to me, another one that kind of felt like it was ripped out of Black Christmas, and one more that felt very Friday the 13th. And admittedly, I liked this more than something like The Green Inferno or Knock Knock or even Hostel for that matter. But it's missing that spark. It has something interesting going for it in that it's holiday themed, and we have this killer going around wearing the John Carver outfit. He was obviously one of the founders of the Plymouth Colony after sailing over on the Mayflower. But it doesn't really take that in an interesting direction. Instead, the movie spends its time with these annoying teenage characters reading text messages and seeing the killer's messages on social media. And I did not care about a single living soul in this film, and I think that's the biggest problem. So unfortunately, I'm going to give Thanksgiving 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's not terrible by any means. It's just a very average slasher film that delivers exactly what you probably expect. And look, if you're one of those people who just wants to go into this and see some cool kills and some gore, you're going to have a fun time, I promise you. But if you, like me, are a little bit more picky about your slashers, I really enjoy the Scream franchise. I enjoyed Ty West's X from last year, but there haven't been many other slashers in the last couple of years that have really wowed me. If you share that sentiment, I don't think you'll really get much out of this. I'm going to cut it short here, guys, because I don't really have much else to say about this other than the fact that it was very mediocre. So be sure to let me know in the comments if you do see Thanksgiving. Did it live up to your expectations? And are you a slasher fan, or are you someone who is not a slasher fan and actually really enjoyed this? I would love to know. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch you later.